Are in the studio this morning with our group from Penns Manor School District. We have elementary and senior high students with us this morning. And we're talking first with Kristen Zeglin. She's the principal of the elementary school. And you've got two third graders with you this morning, huh?
I do, Todd. Good morning, everybody. Today I brought Alandria Stapleton and Ella Henning, and they're going to share their 4-paragraph essays and talk about the
Ooh,
process of everything that they had learned in our ELA curriculum, the Wit and Wisdom. It's called Wit and Wisdom, where they, really concentrate on learning about the background knowledge so that the students then have lots to write about and lots to talk about. So, and they
wow.
do. They had a lot to write about and a lot to talk about.
Beautiful. Our conversation, by the way, brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. I'll allow you two young ladies to go ahead and do what you do.
We have been studying how people learn about space. First, we read Starry Messenger by Peter Says. We learned about Galileo Galilei and how he used a telescope to look at the stars. He discovered things about the universe that people didn't know or believe at that time.
Next, we read Moonshot by Brian Flocka and One Giant Leap by Robert Burley. We learned about the Apollo 11 mission and how NASA created a rocket ship and lunar module called the Eagle. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins were on the Apollo 11 mission. Armstrong and Aldrin were the first people to walk on the moon. Neil Armstrong made an important speech when they landed on the moon.
After that, we wrote an opinion essay about whether or not we would have wanted to be an astronaut on the Apollo 11 mission. We included an opinion statement, 2 reasons, text evidence, elaboration, and a conclusion in our essay.
Moonshot by Brian Flocka describes the Apollo 11 mission. In my opinion, I would not like to be on the Apollo 11 mission. The first reason I think this is because it could explode. On page 10 in Moonshot, it says a tower full of fuel and fire. If the fuel and fire mix, it could explode. I would not want to be on the Apollo 11 mission because it could explode. Another reason I think this is because they were far from home and far from help. On page 31 in Moonshot, it says, far from home and far from help. If something went wrong, nobody could help them. I would not want to be on the Apollo 11 mission because they were far from home and far from help. In my opinion, I would not want to be on the Apollo 11 mission because it could explode and they were far from home and far from help.
In One Giant Leap by Robert Burley, it describes the Apollo 11 mission. In my opinion, I would like to be in the Apollo 11 mission. My first reason is they made a big speech. On page 17, it says that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Neil Armstrong got famous for his speech. These examples show why I want to be in the Apollo 11 mission. My second reason is they got to plant the flag on the moon. On page 15, it says, then click. Armstrong takes a picture of Aldrin saluting the flag. They got to plant the flag, and I think that they were proud. All these examples explain why I want to be in the Apollo 11 mission. The reasons I wanted to be in the Apollo 11 missions is because they got to plant the flag and they made history for the big speech.
Beautiful, beautiful. Is that everything? Great job by both of you. Just so people listening at home know who you are, go ahead and step up to the microphone and tell us who you are.
I'm Ella Henning.
I'm Alandria Stapleton.
You both did a wonderful job. Thank you so much, representing the elementary school well. My goodness. Michelle Dolges is the principal. That's a lot to live up to now for you.
Well, it makes me excited to hear how well they're doing because when they get to my building, they'll be
Yeah.
really far ahead.
They're actually well schooled by the time they get there. You are, of course, the principal of the high school.
Yes,
You've got 3 young ladies with you.
I do. I bought Bailey Horn and Lachey Johnson and Abby Lewis. And the first one that's going to speak is Bailey Horn. And she is going to talk about her experience at the PMEA State Band Festival.
Oh, there you go. Good morning, Allie.
Good morning.
Tell me about it.
The All-State Band Festival, it's kind of like the highest honor that you can reach through multiple levels of auditioning.
Mm-hmm.
So I auditioned first to make it to District Band, which was held at the KCAC over at IUP. And from that, I auditioned to make it to Region Band, which was held at Brookville High School. And onto that, I auditioned for State Band, which is the top 10% of musicians in high school in this state. And I was one of 2 baritone saxophones in the wind ensemble.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
And I bet you can know how to play On Wisconsin off by heart, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just required of our marching band.
That's the Penns Manor deal right there.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
On Wisconsin.
Everyone should know On Wisconsin by heart.
So baritone sax, you've been playing it for how long?
I started playing it for a jazz festival my 9th grade year.
Uh-huh.
And I loved it ever since. It's probably one of my favorites of the saxes.
Oh, yeah. I think my wife played it in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big fan of instruments that are almost as big as I am.
That and the oboe. She did the oboe too.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried other instruments besides sax?
I took piano lessons from, I want to say, 4th grade up until like 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of discontinued that, but I will be playing some piano for our National Honor Society ceremony.
Oh,
And I've
there
played
you go.
piano for many ceremonies at our high school.
Beautiful. What year are you?
I'm a junior this year.
You're a junior this year.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you've got another year to go playing on Wisconsin.
Yep.
Were there a lot of nerves involved in the competitions?
A lot of nerves at my rehearsal. My conductor, I made it into the wind ensemble, and
Mhm.
there are several other band groups. There's a concert band, an orchestra, vocal jazz, a chorus, and a concert jazz. I made it into the wind ensemble. Our conductor was a very distinguished music teacher. She has a career of 33 years, and she's been all over the world conducting and playing.
Oh.
She was pretty strict, but our concert was absolutely amazing. And I
Yeah.
did better in the concert than I did in any other rehearsal.
Oh, good. Good. And I bet you made a few friends too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thanks for telling the story. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Now, Mrs. Dolges, who else do you have with you?
I brought Lachey Johnson and Abby Lewis, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to speak about Majorettes. Our Majorettes have been doing very well this year, and the girls are going to share some of their success with you.
All right, Lachey, Abby, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
It's good to have you both with us. Let's start with you, Lachey, and tell me about it.
Well, I'm a junior and I've been doing Majorettes for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I do both marching band and competition.
Mm-hmm. And you know on Wisconsin too, at least from the Majorette standpoint.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that we need to know, like part of our tryouts that we have to do.
Uh-huh. Abby, what about you?
I'm a senior.
Mm-hmm.
I've been twirling since 1st grade, and I'm a competition and band majorette.
All right. So as Majorettes, you took part in how many competitions?
Like this year?
Yeah.
At least 5.
Yeah, like
At least
5.
five. So you're veterans, both of you. You've been doing this for a while, and you know what you're getting into when you come into one of these things. Think back to the first one that you ever was at, and your nerves then as compared to now when you're old pros, Lachey.
Yeah, I mean, the nerves then were more like nervous because it was my first time like performing, and then the nerves now are just like I want to do good because I want to win, like we all want to win. So
Uh-huh.
it's mostly getting out there and doing what we know we can do as a team.
Yeah. Abby, what about you?
When I started, it was very scary,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's just like I want to go out there, perform, get it done, and hopefully do our best.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously you enjoy it, but it takes an awful lot of work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm sure nobody keeps score as to how many dropped batons there are, right?
I mean, maybe our coaches, because they probably are not happy with that. But besides that, it's mostly like we don't try to drop, but like if we do,
Mhm.
it's like whatever, we move on,
Yeah.
and then we'll fix it at practice later.
Sure. That's what you got to do. So you both obviously have been doing this for a lot of years. You have another year to do it.
Yes.
Abby, what about you? Where do you go from here?
I don't know yet.
Going to twirl in college or not?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
What's your plan academically? Do you have one?
Not yet.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're still a free agent out there, huh? You've got all these options ahead of you. Do you think it will be college or entering into the job field or?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. All right. Well, you can think on that a little while longer, but eventually, that decision has to be made. But thanks for both of you for coming in and telling us your stories this morning. That's one of my great moments of the year is in the fall when I see the Penns Manor Band come charging across the field to On Wisconsin, and you guys, you're a big part of that routine. and we appreciate the whole thing. The halftime shows and everything like that. It's just a good thing. You got any parades coming up this year?
And not unless like marching band season comes.
No, okay. All right. Very good. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Mrs. Dolges, you've got some talented, athletic young ladies and great musicians in that school.
Absolutely. And Mr. Rode does a very good job with our band. I do have to share, he and I were speaking about the State Band Festival, and he said, just watching all those kids play together and seeing how well they do, he said, it brings tears to your eyes. And he said, it gives you, he said, I have the experience that I had back when I was in high school and I was playing. So he said, I really enjoy watching it. So Mr. Rhodes very proud of the whole band and Bailey especially. And our majorette advisor, these girls are very modest. They spend a lot of time at the school practicing. Their advisor, Jennifer Bello, does a very good job with them, and she works them very hard, and it shows.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And they've won first place in the last 2 competitions. So.
There you go.
And we're very proud of them.
Very nice. And at the elementary level, obviously, we've got some very accomplished young researchers and writers, don't we?
We do, yes. I was invited into the classroom. They actually sent me an invite to come in to their room while they had an author's day, is what they called it, where they were sharing and reflecting on each other's writings. And I was just so impressed. I almost had that teary feeling, almost of a mom, because we've made a lot of curricular changes in the elementary, and, our teachers have been working really, really hard on that. And obviously it's working, and all the hard work from the teachers and the students is definitely showing.
Yeah, and one of the things about elementary level is you can see them growing in leaps and bounds, can't you, from the beginning of the year toward the end?
Absolutely.
Yeah, those are some big leaps that they're making, and these two have done very, very well here this morning. Thank you for bringing them in.
Thank you.
Kristen Zeglin, Michelle Dolges, thank you both.
Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.